It was just 10 years ago that Odysseus made it home to his beloved wife Penelope, after fighting in the Trojan War and being held hostage by the goddess Calypso for 7 years. After a long and frightful journey, Odysseus finally arrived home to Ithaca. We have asked Odysseus and some others to revisit that taxing journey.
Penelope, how do you cope with Odysseus being gone for so long?
I filled the house with suitors, but let's be clear, I never did anything with any of them. I didn't know if my husband was ever going to come back, and if it wasn't for my son Telemachus, he probably never would have.
Odysseus, looking back, who impacted you most along your journey?
So many people. There was Athena, Alcinous, Nausicaa. All of them helped me such a great deal.
Athena, how would you describe your relationship with Odysseus?
I greatly admired the braveness of Odysseus, so I was happy to help him on his journey home. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it after I saw my father's face when Odysseus arrived back home.
I'm glad that you brought up your father Zeus. Was it difficult fighting against him in the Council of Gods?
I'm used to it. He can be overly dramatic sometimes. Why should he control everything?
Zeus, why do you hate Odysseus so much?
First of all, Poseidon is the one who has real beef with Odysseus, but I have to take my boy's Poseidon side. But Odysseus does seem to get involved with other people's business, like when his men slaughtered the sun's cattle. But they had no right, so I hit him with another storm. But if you want to talk to someone else, really hates Odysseus, talk to Poseidon.
Poseidon, why did you punish the Achaeans?
Because they blind my son's one good eye.
Do you feel you could have taken a more peaceful approach?
No?
Sources tell me that you were spying on Odysseus with a certain assistant who you may or may not have bribed with a new pair of golden sandals. Do you deny these allegations?
I am the king of the gods! I can do whatever I want!
We decided to travel to Scheria to meet some others who helped Odysseus on his journey home.
How did you meet Odysseus?
Well, I ran into a very naked Odysseus while I was doing my laundry down by the river, which is something I don't normally do. But I gave him some space so he could wash up in the river in privacy, and when he stepped out of the river, he looked even hotter than before.
How did you help Odysseus?
Well, I didn't want to walk into town with some rando because people talk, you know. So I gave Odysseus directions to my family's palace so he could seek my father's help without raising any suspicion.
Why did you feel sympathy for Odysseus and decide to help him home?
Odysseus? At first I was afraid he was a god. But after speaking to him, it was clear he was just a mortal. He was just so polite, and I truly felt bad for him, especially when he started weeping during the party. But that's a whole nother story.
What kind of stories did Odysseus tell your people?
He told us the tale of his truly epic travels. He nearly died so many times and slept with so many women. He's a truly amazing man.
Describe your relationship with Odysseus.
What a man. I desired for him to become my husband. Our rendezvous certainly weren't bad. I truly enjoyed his company. Even if he spent his days sitting on the beach, sobbing like a baby.
So you admit that you knew Odysseus was unhappy while trapped on your island. Do you feel any remorse for those 7 years you held him captive?
Well, he spent most of his days sobbing on the beach, but he certainly wasn't sobbing at night, if you know what I mean.
Now let's get to the question that the viewers are dying to know. Do you have feelings for Odysseus?
Well, he's a good-looking guy, and I know my father was hoping I might marry him, but we're just friends.
Odysseus, many people describe you as a lying, cheating, deceitful, unfaithful, pathetic son of a... How do you respond to these haters?
I try and shake it off. I had a rough and temptation-filled journey from the siren song to Calypso to Nausicaa. I don't know how people expect me to act. I am a hero, aren't I?
Penelope, how do you respond to these allegations that your husband, Odysseus, cheated on you with multiple women before arriving back home? How do you address these allegations?